Good morning, everyone. I, Dr. Deepika Deswal, again welcome you all. We are back for the second section of the day. Life skills plays an important role in the character and personality development. Our resource person for this session is Dr. Ankit Dhamija ji, Associate Professor, University of the People, India. The topic of the session is implication of life skills education on character development. Before moving on, let me introduce you all in brief about him. Dr. Ankit Dhamija ji is an accomplished academician with a vast experience of over 13 years. Along with it, he is a doctorate in information technology and double masters in computer applications. Also, he's published research papers in leading index journals, and as well as he is skilled in Python programming, system analysis, and web designing. Over to you, sir.
Right. So, very good morning to each and everyone. I'm thrilled to be here on this forum on meeting each one of you. And although I belong to the computer science department, and but still, I have some experience about life skills and character building. So, when I was approached by the convener and the moderator of this conference on this session, Dr. Mukesh, Dr. Deepika, and Dr. Tanu, so I couldn't resist, and I instantly said yes. That yes, I would love to be a part of this, learned people, those who are here and attending this important session. So I believe in the morning you must have had the first session on life skills by Dr. Priyanka. She was also a dear colleague of mine in the past. Now I have joined this University of the People. It is a US based online only university, right? So without wasting much of your time, because we have just 1 hour with us, I would want to make this session meaningful for everyone. So I'm sharing my screen now. Dr. Deepika, please confirm me whether the title slide is visible.
Sir, it's visible.
And now it is in the slideshow mode.
Yes, sir.
Right, so the full screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. Full screen is visible now.
All right, fine. So the topic of our discussion is about the implications of life skills education on the character development. So the agenda that we are going to discuss today is this on your screen. So as you already have a interaction with the Dr. Priyanka in the morning session, so I will not spend much time in explaining the meaning and definition, but I will make sure that you get your some what do you say, some brunch in the form of a pizza. So generally we have a large size pizza. Here I will put LS as life skills pizza. And of course each one of you will is going to have and going to choose any of these slices of that pizza. So we'll have 4 slices and each one of them will teach you life skills in the form of pizza. So just to spice up the discussion, just to make it interesting, I have brought in this pizza for each one of you. In my organization, I generally have barista meetings. So they have a concept of online barista meetings where each one of us have their own coffee, and we discuss the things. Similarly, lunch and learn events are there. So taking a clue from that platform, I brought in this concept here. Then we will have a very important slide about why life skill education is important. Then we will of course jump to our main thing, which is the character building. So introduction to character building will be there, and then some 16 very important character building skills and an example of each one of those we would be covering. And then few activities that we can have with our students to ensure that character builds in some sense. And then we will have some statistic and overview about life skills education, the status of life skills in India, and what difficulties are there, what mechanism is required to strengthen life skills education in India. And finally we will come to the implications of the topic, and then I will be concluding it. Right, so I think this agenda is interesting enough for each one of you to take a clue stay hooked up to the presentation. And in between the slides, you will have the interaction slide also. So I would request everyone to participate equally, because I only enjoy giving the presentations when the audience is participating, they are giving me the responses, and that gives me a confidence also that yes, people are understanding and my effort is going in the right direction. So, without wasting much of your time, now let us move to the first slide, which you already know, but just my way of putting up what is life skills. So we have a meaning and we have a definition also. So definition I had taken from World Health Organization, where it says the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enables individuals to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of everyday life. Now you come to the meaning of this definition. So for each of the individual, though they must have the competences that assist them in their day-to-day life, their day-to-day functioning in whatever environment they are in. Either you are a student, either you are a teacher, either you are a working professional, either you are a person in the service industry or any industry. So each one of us must have the competences which allows us to function in our very own environments. Then, how we learn life skills. These are learned in sequential steps related to the age and the development stage. So, if I am a school going student, then obviously, according to my age, the respective life skills should be taught to me. Similarly, if I am a working professional working with any organization and there is a lot of work pressure, so while dealing with all that pressure, I am learning about life skills. So it is a very important characteristic of life skill that you learn while you are doing. So this is the third point only. The it is life skills are acquired by when learning by doing activities only, right? So now come this interesting aspect of last life skills pizza. So just like you have your pizza, I want you to view this circle as a pizza with four slices segregated by these thick lines here, and each of these slices is having a unique different toppings. So you can see four major toppings. Generally your pizza is having vegetables, vegetable and non-veg pizza, vegetarian, whatever it is. So here we have the different toppings like heart, head, health, and hand. So this is a 4H concept, right, which was given by, the source is mentioned here, which was given by Pat and his colleagues in 1998. I found it really interesting, and I thought that this is the thing from where we should start our discussion and the presentation. So these 4H are further are having their own categories. So in the heart category, you will find relating and caring. In the head category, you will find it managing things and thinking from the head. In the health category, though, health living and health being is there, and in the hands category, you will see giving and the working. So, on the boundaries, whatever words are written, these all are the actual life skills. I don't know how many life skills you have understood, you have discussed in the morning session, but these are around 24, 25, 28 number of life skills which are mentioned here according to these 4H characteristics, right? So we will read, we will understand each one of those, and we will have an interactive session, interaction in the form of your responses in the chat window on any one of these from these four slices. So jumping to this first one, which is head. So head is related with your mind. So for attaining life skills, the application of mind is very important. So generally we uh, take our decisions from mind, but yes, the another H is there, which is heart. So there are some situations where you apply your heart, and there are some situations where you apply both your mind and heart as well. So coming only discussing about the head itself, so you will see we use our mind to manage these five aspects. Resiliency. What is resiliency? So resiliency means remaining there, remaining focused till we have achieved our targets, till we have achieved our goals. So putting in efforts continuously, passionately, is about the resilience. Then while we are working in our organization or in our office, so keeping records is very important. So as a teacher, you must be having your mentees or mentor mentee system, you must be having your own registers to maintain. So there are so many aspects. So record keeping is very important, because whenever any accreditation agency comes, they ask for records, and then if we have not kept the records in appropriate form, then we find it difficult to compile, to to put up the things on an urgent basis. So we apply our mind, we pin up the things in our file accordingly in a particular sequence. So that is all about keeping records. Then wise use of resources, it is very important. So as teachers, the best resource that we have is our students. So we can get a lot of things done from them, and this will teach them a lot also while hosting an event as an organization. If you give the podium to the students to deal with, to anchor the events, to further, you know plan some activities, and you are guiding them, so that is the effective utilization of resources at hand. Planning and organizing, it doesn't need any explanation. So we use our mind to plan the things for ourselves, for our individual goals, for organizations goals. And finally, goal setting. Each one of us is having a particular goal, and our mind is, programming it, and we are able to, further divide it into different levels, and that to achieve this goal, firstly we need to do this, we need to reach at this level. So here you can see planning is also working in this. So when we apply our mind to manage all these aspects, this is the and first, uh, you know first quadrant, first slice of this pizza, which is very important. Coming to the second part of this application of mind in thinking. So critical thinking is very important. So the ability to reason is very important. The ability to perceive the things, the way the communication is happening, and the how we are able to, grasp the aspects that the speaker is communicating. So only listening is not important. What is important is that we ponder over the concepts that have been, spoken. We take some me time in thinking about that. Yes, uh, the points discussed were very valid, or those were not valid, whatever your mind says. But it is important to put in time. Similarly, problem solving, decision making, and learning to learn. So we should always keep on learning. So it is whenever the day we think that our learning is finished, we have learned everything, the growth and the progress is stopped. So every day we should learn something new. We should start every day that yes, I will learn some new words, some new, we will I will imbibe some new characteristics in my nature. So anything you can learn from anyone. This is about the first slice of this pizza, which is the head. Now, this is the interaction time. After every slice, you will have this interaction. So, I had chosen decision making, uh, decision making life skill from there. So, I would request everyone to think for half a minute and tell me in the chat window only, what strategy do you adopt while taking a decision? How do you make your decision? I want to know. This is very interesting thing that generally people take their decision. Maybe we are while we are in a hurry. Some decisions don't require for us to put think too much, and these are very straightforward. But some decisions require you to think from different perspectives. You can think about this situation about what teaching strategy you are going to adopt, right? You want to invest somewhere, what kind of strategy then you will adopt. So all these are major decisions. So I want you to think about it and come up with your few of them. At least you should respond about the way you make your decisions. Let me come back to the chat window and see what what responses I can get in this. No response till now. Are you writing? Keep on writing, entering. or in the comments I will see. I will be able to see in the comments.
The audience, if you have any question, you can put in the comment box.
Not a question, just your the way you take your decisions. Any any strategy that is adopted by you which works for you. I would love to see that, and then I will move to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Or what we can do is you can note it down alongside you, right? So I guess
Okay,
one
sir.
response, first one response we have. I think the question is the nature of the question is that people it takes time for people to respond. I don't know in what context the audience is speaking. Vikas Vishnu is saying stress is enjoyable sometimes, so I am using sometime, and people are moving towards the attendance submitted for the previous session might be right in between. If some comments come, ma'am, you are requested to let me know, and in the meanwhile, I can for continue with the next slide.
Sir, please continue for the next.
Yeah. So the solution, the what strategy I adopt, it is based upon a very important model which is known as the Herbert Simon model of decision making. I'm sure most of you know about this. This works in almost every kind of situation. It is having three phases like intelligence, design, and choice. So, what happens in the intelligence phase? Any situation that asks for a decision. So, firstly, you gather data about that particular situation from different aspects. You arrange and optimize that data, and if required, it you put it in the computer system. If you want to take help of it, then you design a model in your mind or on your system, like for the evaluation of what all options, what all alternatives are there to to achieve this goal, to take this decision. Either I can go this way or that way or that way. There are three four options, alternatives must be there. Now the choice phase is having some selection criteria where you apply, where you create some selection criteria that all the alternatives will be evaluated on a particular on these four or five criterias, and whatever suits best, I will go with that. For example, you want to launch a new product in the market, you are an entrepreneur, and you want to research, you want to decide about what marketing strategy would be efficient for this kind of product. So you will analyze the data, so about all the data that you have, that about the different options available. You will evaluate all these alternatives, whether you can go for online marketing, whether you can go for a newspaper advertisements, do pamphlets in the newspapers, the hoardings on the highways, and magazines, one complete page in the magazine. So there are so many options, that alternatives are there. Then the choice phase is the selection criteria. So now your the choice that you will make would be based on several things, like which option is the least cost incurring, which option is having the maximum impact and maximum reach, and which option will be further strengthening the position of the product in the market, right? So these are different selection criteria, and then we will apply all these selection criteria on each of the alternatives that we have, and then we give a rating, for example, and then we decide upon the particular marketing strategy to decide. So in every situation, this thing can be applied, but it requires the user to put in some thought process, right? But you can be assured about your decision that you have made the right one. Okay, coming to the next one, slice 2, which is related with heart. So a lot of time it happens that we take decisions from heart, and which is not wrong at all, right? So when we think from heart, that means we have something human inherited inside us, that we care for others, and we think from the perspective of others, and we feel for others. So from the heart, if you see here, the relating and caring are two aspects related with the heart. So for, if you go to caring, the life skills under caring are nurturing relationships, very important. So we need to nurture our relationships, and relationships can only be nurtured when put in your heart in the relationship. So your friends, your family, your whatever near and dear ones are there, the relationship will only be strengthened when you nurture it, when you put your heart and soul into it. So sharing is there. Empathy is about what others are feeling. If you are able to think about them from their perspective, stepping, if you are able to step into their shoes, and then you are able to decide about what they are feeling. So that is how you show your care for others. Similarly, concern for others. Coming to the relating, if you are able to accept differences, that yes, people will have difference of opinions, even then, if I am having a difference of opinion, even then I am connected to that person, I am accepting the person that they are, right? So that is also related with the heart. Conflict resolution, very important aspect, and we will have an activity. The next slide is about the conflict resolution only. So how do you resolve conflict without denting the relationships? So it can be thought of in the context of student teacher relationship also, right, and your personal relationships also. Similarly, social skills are very important, cooperation is important, communication is very important, and in communication, writing skills, speaking skills, listening skills are also equally important, right? So let us come to this interaction time. So this is a situation. Here you can see the students are having some conflict, and one student is bullying the other. So this can happen in our class also. This is a picture from a school class, but in the higher education also you will see there are brawls and quarrels and fights between the grown up students also. And as a teacher, how would you resolve a conflict between two students in the classroom? Just think for it, think about it, and if you have something to write upon this, how do you resolve, what strategy do you adopt? That would be wonderful for the other peers also, those who are attending this, if you are able to put in your thoughts about it. It depends upon you. You want to write in your notepad right now and put it at the end. If you want to put it right now in the chat window, you are most welcome. So this is a very challenging situation as a teacher, to deal with those two students or some few students, those who are high on energy, and are not ready to listen to you, and how you cool them down, how you listen to them. So what strategy I am adopting, what strategy we should follow in this kind of situation? These are the 6 points which is about cooling them off. First is the cooling them off. Bring them, separate them from the whole lot, because most of the others are enjoying watching this kind of an episode which is happening in front of them. Bring them into a quiet place and make them sit together, and ask them to take some deep breaths, and within seconds you will see that they are calm down. Whatever issue they were having, it is subsidized, minimized a little bit. And then ask them one by one to share what they are feeling at presently, what made them react in a particular situation which they shouldn't have, and give them a patient ear. Let them speak whatever they want to say, both of them one by one, and then ask them to take responsibility to for your actions that they had done, right? And the way they will be, because the way they will be thinking, only then they must be pushed to think what has just happened, what kind of outcome it will have, and then take them to about the, yes, we want to resolve this issue, so we want to brainstorm the solutions now. So what solutions can we achieve so that it is a win-win situation for both of you, right? And then ask them to come up with the solution individually, and then on the solution in on which both of them agree, we should choose that solution, and as a mediator you should stress upon its importance, and then ask them to forgive each other, or thank each other that, yes, admit our mistakes, my mistakes. So this is how you handle this kind of conflict which is happening in the classroom. Right. Let us come to this third pizza slice, which is about the hands. So, learning by doing, each of the life skills can be achieved with our hands while we are uh, onto the tasks. So, there can be some giving. So, giving back to the community, giving back to the society while we are indulging in all such activities, then we are learning a lot. Lot of life skills can be learned when we are serving the society. So you see community service volunteering, so you can do some teaching in the slum areas, for example, or you can serve food to the needy people, right? Or you can do any other aspect that you can think of. So that is community servicing, right? Leadership is the most important, most common, most basic aspect, basic life skill that one must have. So taking onus and leading people towards a common goal is about the leadership. Responsible citizenship is another very important life skill that one must have. So as a responsible citizen, we should abide by the law of the land, and then we should follow whatever guidelines are there from the government, and as a responsible citizen we should abide by it. And contributions to group effort, if you are part of a team, working in a team itself is a great feeling, where once you achieve the whatever you are working on, it's a great feeling to celebrate that with a particular group, and you work a lot of team, you understand a lot about the teamwork there. Similarly, now in the underhands category only, working. So teamwork is there, marketable skills. We should, we should develop our marketable skills also, so that the employers are able to see those skills, and further give us a chance to work with them. And self motivation, which is very important. So staying self motivated requires lot of energy from within yourself. All the area, all the people surrounding us, those all are maybe pulling you down, but you are not getting any increments, you are not getting any pat on your back whenever you are doing something good. So how to keep yourself self motivated, this is a life skill which needs to be learned, right? So based on this self motivation only, how do you keep yourself self motivated? This lady is looking in this mirror and imagining herself as a executive or a businesswoman, or working in a professional environment. So to achieve this thing, she has to keep herself self motivated. So how do she work on this? How can one keep it themselves self motivated? What are the ways of doing this? I have the answer on the next slide. That is my version. But here now it's the time to for you to jot down your points, your thoughts, what comes to your mind, any one, any 2 point about the self motivation. And this is all about thinking. And when you think about a particular aspect, then ideas comes to your mind, and jotting down, and maybe it is a very casual remark that you are writing, it holds importance, right? So let me come to this. How do you keep yourself self motivated? Very basic points. Focus your energy on one aspect at a time. So whatever goals I am having, right? I want to maybe learn Python programming to the every aspect of Python programming, but there are several aspects to it. It is in Python programming. There are desktop applications to be learned. There are web applications to be learned. There is AI. There is machine learning. There is natural language processing. So all this can be achieved through using Python. So I must focus my energy on one aspect at a time, and I should continuously, work on it. So breaking down for second point is related to this first one only. When you are focusing on one aspect at a time, that means you are breaking down your large goal into some smaller steps, and then manage your expectations also. So this is the most important point according to me, that expectations, if we have them, it is not wrong, but they generally, when those are not fulfilled, they keep us down, they bring us down. So the inbuilt inherent positivity within you will keep you self motivated. And if you are minimizing your expectations from the manager, from the society, from the students, from your partner, then you will be more self motivated. Fourth point, company is important. Company means the group in which you are, the persons that surrounds you. So if you are in a company where people are pulling each other down, they are bit backbiting and all, so those things can, bring your morale down. So try to surround yourself in a company which where the people are looking to, enrich themselves, to they are looking to grow themselves, they are looking to learn more, and you take motivation from them. Each one of you would be able to seek motivation from them. So company is very important, and we can seek and we can offer help to other people. And when we help others, it brings in a sense of satisfaction, and that also keeps you motivated. Practice gratitude and say thank you for each of the minor small things. Take enough rest and celebrate small achievements also. It is very important to celebrate the achievements. So all these things, there can be an innumerable points for this, and some unique points might come to your mind. I would love to see them in the chat window. So because you are not putting your points right now, I would say put it at the end, and with the heading that self motivation. These are your points, right? Coming to the third slice of this pizza and must have life skills, health aspect is there. So health is wealth, as they say, and healthy living is important, and well-being is also important. So if you see here, in healthy living, I'm starting from this side. So personal safety is very important. Taking care of yourself is very important. So each individual should, be very concerned about their personal safety, personal health, and disease prevention. Disease prevention means we are eating healthy things, we are wearing clean clothes, we are inhaling fresh air, and all that. And this becomes very important in these COVID-19 challenging times. Stress management, yes, somebody mentioned about stress management, which is here, which comes under health and living. So how you deal with stress, what strategy do you adopt, it is also equally important. Thinking too much brings a lot of stress about any problem that you are facing. So every individual has their own customized strategy to deal with stress, and that's particularly a personal thing. Healthy lifestyle choices we have already discussed, and under the health being, so self esteem, self responsibility, character, I will take this forward, character, and managing your feelings and self discipline. All these are the life skills, very important ones that you learn while you are doing things practically, while you are in the work, while you are meeting people, while you are interacting with them. So character is the thing where which I want to take it forward from here, because we want to do character building. But before that, life skills education, why it is important, each one of you knows this. So it helps us to deal with rapid changes brought by the modernization, right? The modernization has, for example, the technology savviness is very important skill nowadays, right? If you are not comfortable on these online platforms, if you are not able with smart touch phones, if you are not able to do all these basic stuff, then this is a life skill. Life skill it has become in today's times. So it is also very important. Then why it is important further, it assists adolescents to gain new way of learning as well as control over their behavior, to take the informed decisions as well. It enhances the human potential, and it also make them realize what are their capabilities and capacities, right? And the basic things, critical thinking skills are developed, problem solving skills, decision making skills, interpersonal relationships, stress and anxiety management, self esteem, assertiveness, empathy, all these are developed when you study life skills. You can handle the problems better, and you can even avoid the problems. And further point says that you can motivate healthy behavior and even increase the self confidence when you learn the life skills. So life skill education holds a lot of importance, and we'll see in the coming slide what is the present status of life skills education in our country. Now, coming back to the character building, the second aspect of our discussion here. So, character building is what? I had taken this from the Cambridge Dictionary. So, the process of becoming emotionally stronger, more independent, and better at dealing with problems is all about the character building. I can recall one thing when I first got my character certificate from my university, and the last line says, the so and so student. Generally, in each one of you must have seen, he or she learns a good moral character. So, moral word is there. So, moral values are very important. So, if I in character building, you learn moral values. In your experience certificate also, the employer puts this line: the candidate was good at work, he or she learns a good moral character. So means you are trustworthy, you are honest, you have the integrity, so the people can rely upon you. All this comes under character building. So how to build one's character? We'll see in the coming slides what are the traits, what are the skills that assists us in building our character. One more definition I had taken this from PETA website. So, a means of teaching students core ethical values such as citizenship, respect, justice, and responsibility for self and others. It is also an effort which builds or improves upon an individual's mental and moral characteristics. So, I can also recall one more aspect. Naitik Shiksha is the word, actual one for moral values. So, uh, in Haryana, government schools, there is a compulsory thing, this aspect, that there is one small subject about Naitik Shiksha, which teaches all these moral values, and each of the chapter is teaching one or the other. But this is a one. There is one way the student have to pass the exam out of it, and but this kind of subject should be more of practical based and learning by doing based. So the effort should be to teach the students these skill sets by engaging them in some activities, right? So coming to the next one, these are my 16 character building examples. Each of the word, I don't know whether you have heard each one of those, but each one of these words assists in character building: discipline, camaraderie, accountability and responsibility, risk taking, leadership, debate, honor system. I don't know whether you have heard this. Freedom, personal reflection, goals, failures, overcoming fears, culture, doing good, improvisation, and toil. Each one of them, these assists in the character building, and we'll see each one of those one by one. Discipline. How being disciplined assists in character building? You can see, you can read this point, but I can very quickly put this in front of you from the example. So when you are disciplined, you are disciplined means that you are abiding by some rules and regulations and guidelines. You are still prevailing and sustaining in that environment, and you are behaving in a manner which is expected by the authorities from you. In a sense, somewhere deep inside, you are building your character, right? Take this example of a student. Whenever the exams are there, the students are studying for longer hours, which they haven't done during the whole week or whole semester or whole year. But Beyond any knowledge that they gain from this experience, their capacity to focus and direct their efforts towards a purpose is increasing, right? So whenever parents force a student that yes, you have to study for 2 hours at a stretch, which they haven't done, but every day when they are doing this during their exams, they are gaining something. They are gaining the ability to sit, to focus, to engross in a book, put their head in the book, and then learning it. So that is character building, one aspect of character building. Similarly, next one is camaraderie. Camaraderie is all about the teamwork. So you are working on common goals as a team, which is competing in a competition which has some constraints. So if you are able to contribute to your team in their win, or maybe in a losing effort, doesn't matter, right? So this camaraderie is developed. You are bonding with all your team members. You are learning to care for each other. You are learning to contribute in a group effort, and that is how you are building your character. This is again learning by doing only. While you are playing, only then you learn this thing. Similarly, accountability and responsibility, very important. So we all are accountable for whatever deeds we are doing. We all are responsible, and the people who are bestowing upon us the responsibilities, they are trusting us, right? So if you speak this aspect in the teaching learning environment, so the senior students, this happens on the teachers day generally, the senior students are given roles in helping and serving to the younger students. They teach the younger students, so you trust them and you ensure, you ask them that we trust you, that you will deal the younger ones, the fresher ones, with utmost respect and care, as your own siblings, younger brothers, sisters, right? So now they have this responsibility, and when they perform this responsibility to the utmost, with the utmost diligence and care, then they are again developing their character in your eyes. And character is judged by people. Different people will have their own version of judging the character of a person. Similarly, next one, risk taking. Risk taking is a very important character building skill. So generally, how you take decisions, every decision, have some element of risk surrounded with it. So you are putting some bravery, you are showing some bravery, you are showing your resilience whenever you are taking a little bit of risk, while it is about changing a job, while it is about taking a business decision, while it is about taking a decision on the field in a sport, right? Now this example is very interesting. This example says that Dutch scouting tradition, it happens in Dutch environment, where they drop their children, people in the Dutch community, they drop their children in a random spot in the forest, wild forest, in the middle of the night, and they give them a task, they give them a mission to return to the base camp. How terrifying it is! But there is an objective, there is a positive objective behind this, right? So the children will be learning bravery, they will be learning resilience through this thing. Now the opposite to this is the helicopter parenting. So generally, what is helicopter parenting? The parents are too much concerned about their kids. They are spoon feeding the things to them. They are, interfering and keeping a constant eye on each of the aspects that the student is pursuing and doing. So that is helicopter parenting. So there is a so much. This happens in North America, maybe in our community. Depends upon parent to parent. But risk taking capability is very important, and it is a very important character skill. Leadership, you all know I won't spend much time on this. So experience of leading to others towards a common purpose is all about the leadership. Debate, have you thought about, while we are doing a debate, then also we are learning something, we are learning a character skill, right? Because whenever a debate is happening, the your point would be contradicted by the others, right? And how you take that contradiction, this is the character skill that you develop. If you are taking that on your heart, on your mind, and you are coming back with a very reply in a very different tone, that you don't agree with this point and you are unable to tolerate, how can you cut my point and all. So tolerance for disagreement is very important. You learn tolerance for disagreement, you learn resilience here also while participating in a debate. Next one is the honor system. Right. So this is an interesting one. I found this one the most interesting. So honor system is what? It is about placing trust in the members of a group, and without any monitoring, if the group is performing what is expected out of them, there are no CCTV cameras, there there are no monitoring, and then still you are doing honestly whatever you are supposed to do. This is about the honor system that has been created. For example, a school shop without a cashier or monitoring system, where students are trusted to leave the payment. How wonderful it is. You don't have any person monitoring, and whatever you are picking from the counter, you are putting a money there only, right? And each one of the person who is coming, he or she is following this. So this is a trust. In this kind of system, trust is the utmost important aspect which is there. So what is the penalty for this? If you are not following this honor system, it is the tarnishing your honor, it is tarnishing your image, and you are bringing the whole system down with this effort of yours, right? So this is the honor system. So it requires this school to build a culture that values both trust and honor. So when you follow this kind of system, you are building trust skills, you are building the trust, and that is an essential character skill. Freedom. How can freedom be a character skill? Interesting. So the example is very different one. So when a parent give a freedom to their children, and they take leverage of that freedom, but to a particular level, that yes, it is okay to take, it is not impacting anyone in any adverse manner or in a harmful manner. So, and when you take freedom, you experience new things, you have some freedom to do this and that, and while doing that, this and that, you are gaining some experiences, and those are helping you build your character. For example, if I ask my parent to go for a solo trip to any of the Himalayas state, so and they allow me, but they give me some instructions. So I have the freedom also, I have the instructions also. I am going on my journey, I am experiencing new things, meeting new people, interacting with them, knowing different cultures, and I am coming back without crossing that line that was given to me. So in a some sense, I had built a lot of character while doing all those activities there. So the example that is here, it is about this only. It is a Amish community is there. It is a Christian community. So adolescents are allowed to engage in certain amount of misbehavior, right? And they enjoy some unusual amount of freedom for several years, right? So they can do whatever they want. They can drink, they can dine, they can but do whatever it is, right? And then they make a decision to be baptized. What is baptized is they want to baptize means coming back to the community, and in baptized situation, Christian community, you are put in some deep water, some mantras and whatever it is, and you you do know you decide upon that. Yes, I will not now, from now onwards, I will not enjoy all this freedom that I had enjoyed over all these years, and I will follow the rules of the community or the society. So this is also assisting in the character building. Personal reflection. So the me time is important about personal reflection means, so sitting quietly in a natural place, thinking about yourself and your goals, walking quietly, and applying your mind. It is all about personal reflection. While we are doing this, we are building our character. Goals, experience of setting and working towards a goal. So the athlete who trains each day with a goal to improve their performance, so we should be continuously resiliently working towards those goals, and make bit by bit efforts. Overcoming fears. So when we put efforts in overcoming our fears, we are building our character. If I have a doubt about how I am unable to, do public speaking, so if you are putting in effort, you are taking this as a challenge, and we are overcoming, putting, standing on a in front of people and putting up your thought process, that is helping you build your character. So overcoming fears is also a character building aspect. Culture. Culture is about immersing in different value systems, following the different norms and expectations, learning different languages, gaining knowledge about different traditions and histories and arts. So while you go to a different culture, tasting a cuisine itself is building character. You belong to North India, you relish, you try, make an effort to, uh, relish a South Indian dish or the Italian food, whatever it is. This itself is helping you build your character. Participating in a local festival, as it is written here, reading a great work of literature, so this helps you in understand the world, and it helps you in interacting with others in a positive way. So culture also assists in character building. Doing good, selfless acts, volunteering for different aspects, it is all about the character building. Teaching in slums, distributing food and all these aspects, doing road shows, and giving a social message, all those comes under volunteering. Improvisation, I think this is the last one from this. Improvisation is what it means. You are agreeing to a particular person's point of view, even if you don't feel it from inside, but you are trusting their point of view, right? You know that in the long run it will be, it is the right aspect that the person is presenting, however improbable it might look you right now, but you are agreeing upon to that, right? While you do this, you are building your character skills also, like you are get being learning to how to be flexible, how to be adaptable to new thoughts, and capacity to cooperate. You are also giving confidence to the other person, that yes, I understand you, and you are, in this way you are enhancing your personal relationships. So improvisation is again about the character building. This is the last one. Toil is about, you know toiling, or what you can say, you are, putting in great efforts, intensive efforts, manual efforts, right? And while you toil, while you suffer, you learn a lot, right? If you see the students in at home, generally they don't make their bed, they get up and parents do all these things. When they go to hostel, they need to do all this on their own, wash their clothes, make their bed, go and take the food, everything. So this is some amount of toiling, right? So toiling also helps us develop our character. It also makes us responsible, right? It also makes us calm, patient. It also helps us to pay attention to small details and diligence, right? So all these 16 aspects helps in character building. Now all these aspects that we just finished, those need to be taught to the students, right? But if you just give them this verbal interaction, like what we are doing right now, it won't they won't accept it, they won't imbibe that. Maybe few percentage of those do this, but until and unless you are building, making students take part in some interesting activities, they won't be able to realize this aspect, they won't be able to build their character to the extent that you want as teachers. So character building activities includes a lot of activities. So some of those I have listed here, like boost up exercises. So while you are taking your class, give them compliments, right? Those who perform well, those who not perform well, give them a positive feedback or a very assertive feedback. Write them thank you notes, ask them to write thank you notes to each other also, right? So this will also imbibe them some character skills. Then don't push buttons. What is this? Help your students Identify the situations and trigger words defined as button pushing and avoid them. So don't do it. I don't like it. Right? So student must be able to identify all such situations and uh, ask them to use these kind of trigger words so that they are able to understand what is allowed and what is not allowed, what is correct and what is not, and they are able to decide that what I can permit, what can, how I can be interacted with or dealt with, and what cannot be. So this kind of exercise can be done. Growing grateful. Teach them gratefulness with a bulletin board or door decoration with a flower or paper tree. This can be a school activity, maybe not to the grown ups, but on the door, classroom door, it can be written while you are moving out, please remain honest, please show integrity, please show kindness, always be grateful. So while they leave the class, it for some time it will remain on their mind, and keep on changing these words, maybe weekly, and so that their mind will always remember these some of these aspects. Character stars. So character stars are just the, you are giving the some stars to the student who are showing some positive traits. So on their shoulder, let them wear a star on their shirt for a day or for a week, and other students will also take motivation from the one who is wearing, and this is how they can learn, they can be motivated to learn character. Taking it back. Provide each, this is small simple activity where you are giving some small packets of salt, pepper, sugar, and a paper to dump it out on. When they mix each one of those three things, and then you direct them to put all the contents back on their individual packets, they will say that, oh, it is very difficult to put these. But then you are giving them the lesson that our words are very hard to take back once they are said. This is the lesson. So speak wisely, politely, to don't, with an objective to don't to hurt the listener. So this is the activity that can be done. Similarly, door to integrity. The same thing. We can post a reminder on the doors like character traits can be listed: honesty, kindness, let others come first, and so on. Some different things can be done. Peer pals. Peer pals means uh, ask them to help each other, service each other, right? Like the meritorious students can teach to the ones who didn't, who are not able to do well, help them each other and in clearing out their doubts. So doubt clearing sessions can be there where they help them better. Sharing their items, conveying their culture, individuality. This happens in the mentor meetings. Apart from the academics, you ask them to come up with their personal issues and everything, and they can share their interests and experiences. Welcome to the real world. Now, what they think about themselves, what they think, how will they rate themselves on different aspects, about their personality, about their communication skills. They can paste this thing in front of, in their notebook or in on their study table, and weekly what efforts they are putting in. So when they are constantly looking at efforts to raise that number to the maximum level, make a difference. Teach them to find learning service opportunities where they can use their voice and speak and conduct the event, helping in the cafeteria, washing in front of lockers, painting over a graffiti. So, and then this can also instill a pride feeling in them. Knowing their personality, giving them time to know about their personality, what kind of personality I have. So there are different personality quizzes online that they can take also, and then talk it out. So have some real world conversations with them where they are able to put their point of view, and you are giving them the valuable suggestions to handle all those things. So these all are character building activities. Now I searched about the situation of life skills education in India. So this table is giving us an overview about the life skills education. So here you can see there are four parameters. So whether that these are all the criterias. So absent, emerging. Absent means no, nothing is there, no or limited progress. Emerging means that we are on the way to meeting the minimum standard for this. The process is established and the process is in the advanced stage in our country. So about policies about of life skills. So though these are emerging, we can't say that these are absent. Life skills are there in the curriculum somewhat. Schools are implementing. CBSE has their manual for this. So those are emerging. In the some colleges also they do put all these things in their curriculum, right? So under curriculum, yes, it is in the emerging stage. Learning and quality goals. So whether we have a mechanism in place to ensure the quality of life skill delivery, how can we judge or measure the life skills attainment of these students? So this is absent in our system, right? Now, the evidence based on impact of life skills education in the Indian context, this is also absent. So we are unable to have what kind of impact it is having. Funding. So whether there are some agencies, those who are putting in their funds in for life skill education purposes, yes, somewhat it is there, but we are about to have it at the minimum level only. And life skills traits for the teachers, whether the teachers are given training for life skills, whether they are made to go through all those activities that teacher develop the skills and expertise in life skill education. It is right now, it is a sorry state of affairs and it is absent in our country. And this is adapted from World Bank's report and UNICEF joint effort. Now, what are the difficulties that we are facing? So life skills, because our school curriculum are, the focus is on the academic curriculum majorly, and very less focus is on the life skills. So creating this needs to be brought at the center stage into the curriculum, right? And the learner centric pedagogy needs to be introduced, and not which is not solely reliant on the rote learning or exam based assessment only, right? So generally the mindset is that the students need to be assessed for everything they learn, right? But life skills, their parameters must be clear on what parameters the students will be judged and how we'll be assessing them. Similarly, the culture should be there towards a life skill based education, and teachers capacity and their motivation levels also needs to be improved. And as I said, life skills manuals are produced by CBSE, but there are no learning standards for social and emotional development. So what are the mechanisms how we can build life skills? So firstly, life skills needs to be age aligned depending upon the age of the students. The programs, the skill set, the activities needs to be created, and teachers should be motivated, right? Those who are overlooking all those activities. Then inculcating 21st century life skills like sports teaches a lot of life skills and character. Participating in drama, competition and fine arts, storytelling activities, some experiential workshops, mentoring initiatives, classroom discussions, all these must be uh, pushed further, and specific slots should be there in a week, every week. And this is how you can build the life skills in the students, right? So games and simulations, also technology savviness is also there. All these measures are there to build the life skills. Now, coming to the second last, yeah, I think second last slide. So what are the implications? So as I said, you must have understood till now that character and life skills are interrelated with each other. When you learn life skills, you are building the character, right? These are totally related with each other. So for building the life skills, for building the character, now I am using these things interchangeably. The education holds the key, and it starts from schooling only, right? So person must go through school education, and the focus about on the education is extremely important, right? You learn a lot of life skills while being in the schools only, right? Now, there is an increased need to incorporate character education in schools curriculum. The all those activities that we just saw, there must be space in the timetable which is already packed with different activities, right? Some extracurricular activities should be there, which teaches them the culture. Now, character building, it is initiated from school, as we discussed earlier, but while asking questions when they can work, it flourishes while you are being involved in some challenging situations. Some decisions need to be made. So all those situations teaches you character building. Now, industry demands also the superior competence as well as the wise morals from the employees that they are hiring. Your technical skills should be there. Those are those have been already always asked, but the organizations ask that they want to have employees which are having, wise morals also. So so industry demands character importance, right? But while asking questions, then they can easily judge that what kind of morals you are having. Technology savviness is another. We already discussed this point. It is a life skill which is very important now, and we are in this tech world only. So life this has become an essential life skill, and netiquettes are also very important nowadays. So when you are on this online platform, and if you are having an option to speak, so when to speak, when to remain mute, when to not to disturb the speaker, so all these are the character skills that you learn, right? And there is a need for life skill measurement tools also. So self rating scales are required, where individual can judge themselves on different parameters. Teacher rating reports are required, where the teacher's competence level is judged, and behavioral measuring activities should be there, right? Now to conclude the discussion, so the phenomena of rapid development of technology, information, and communication in this century, it demands the competence and morality, right? And if the people don't have this competence and morality, there will be anxiety, right? And this anxiety will reduce the morale of adolescents, and this will further motivate the stakeholders. It will demand from the stakeholders, from the organizations, to take character education seriously and devise the policy steps. Our government is taking a lot of steps now, and but still we are in the initial stages. But now slowly and steadily the character education is gaining importance, and maybe in the coming years to come we will see a good graph of the in its incorporation in our curriculum, in our schools, in our higher education system. The success of this character education can achieve with the various strategies. We had already discussed all such strategies, and of course life skills education programs are part of this strategy. So with this, I think I had taken enough of your time. I was allotted 1 hour. So thank you very much for your patience. So now I want each one of you to hit the chat window with your remarks, your comments, your suggestions. You like this presentation, you dislike this presentation. What do you think that can be done to improve this? And what can be done? What do you think about all those interaction time ask questions that we had, right? So I would love to hear from you guys. So this is all from my side. Once again, thank you very much for your patience, for joining this session, and I'm looking forward to the comments. Dr. Deepika, you can let me know, or I can
Sir,
also. There is an option. Anything I
sir,
can
there is
assist you.
no
Yeah.
question. Audience, if you have any question, put in the comment box. I think, sir, there is no question from the audience.
Any questions are most welcome. Whether the content, I try to make this interactive, but typing parallelly it is quite difficult for the participants. But I am sure you must
Yes,
have
sir.
gained new insights, which was my effort. And just very small comments will be most appreciative. And
Yes, sir. There are
we,
many comments like very nice session, and I think there is no question from the audience.
no problem, no problem. It is all my pleasure. And I am extremely thankful to Om Sterling Global University and the convener, Mr. Mukesh, and you, Dr. Deepika, and Dr. Tanu, who connected me and requested, and I grabbed this as an opportunity, and I said that I would love to be a part of this platform and learned community. So thank you very much for having me here. It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words, your insightful reflection about personality and character development has helped us all understand the importance of character in life. The way you explained it all was quite easy, compact, and soulful. So interesting it was that we all remained glued to our screen. You are an incredible master of words, sir. Your sensible approach towards life will help us all improve in the long run. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.